Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an all blue pure water draft in Edge of Eternities to support TeamWater. TeamWater is Mr. Beast's campaign to raise $40 million to support pure drinking water for millions of people around the globe. As a tiny creator, our contributions are going to be just a drop in the bucket. And yes, lots of water puns throughout the rest of the video. But what's really important is to engage the entire community to feel like we're all coming together to make big things happen. So in the description below, you will find a link to a donation page for TeamWater. And we're pledging to donate $1 for every new subscriber on this video over the next 2 weeks, up to 100 subscribers. And we'll have additional donations linked to watch time goals and comments. So if you have funds to be able to donate now would be amazing. And if you don't have funds right now, if things are a little bit tight, you're still part of the community and you can still really help the initiative by specifically on this video subscribing, watching through till the very end to help boost watch time, and putting a comment below. And on all the TeamWater videos, sharing, liking, and subscribing in order to help bring that visibility. So with that said, we're going to jump into the pool on this blue draft and get started right now. This is my last draft token, so I hope the rest of the day won't be blue if this doesn't go our way, but we will certainly try to make a splash. Like I said, lots of water puns throughout the video. With 3 packs being opened and 5 colors plus the colorless and multicolored cards, we have about a 50-50 chance of opening a blue rare in one of the packs. But we are committed to playing all blue and some colorless, right? Like we're not going to restrict ourselves on colorless, but we are going to be playing all blue spells. The idea is that islands will be the only basic land being played at the end of the draft. We're going to start right here with a 2-drop, and while we may pick up some other artifact cards, this is a really good 2-drop in this Second Spells Matter deck. It will need a decent amount of card draw because you're going to need to keep the card velocity coming if you're looking to play 2 spells every turn, but this is where we'll start. This is a live premiere draft, so there is time between picks. Some of the drafts on the channel are quick draft, where you're making one pick right after another. Our picks are going to go, generally speaking, pretty fast, since we're not going to have as many choices as some other drafters would. This is 4 mana. When this enters, draw 2 cards and discard a card, and if you station up to 8, it is a 4/4. The other idea is this cantripping card. Tap target creature or artifact and draw a card. I do think these kind of cards will be able to get later on in the draft. So let's start cutting blue so that in pack 2 we can get rewarded with as much blue coming back to us as possible. Yeah, I love this card. This is a 3 mana 2/4. Your second spell of each turn costs 2 less. That is big. We have the cantrip again. And we also have a counter spell that makes a lander token. We will go ahead and no doubt take this 3-drop. So we do have when this creature enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -3 till the end with warp. That is a decent card, but we also have a 1/4 flyer that turns into 2 4 flyers if you have an artifact, and I do believe we will control. We will probably not be as aggressive as needed to play this for the warp cost and then play it again a second time, so we will take this flying creature. Terrain generator. Okay. Let's see. We do have this warp card again with the -3/-0. We are going to have a low curve because we just can't afford to play very expensive card, so I do take it, although I'm not sure it's exactly the type of card I would like to be playing, especially not in multiples, if that's where this draft ends up going. We aren't going to hurt for playables, that's for sure. There are enough playables in blue where even if another drafter close by is drafting some of the blue cards, I think we should be able to get to 23 without too much of a hassle. First couple of picks bore that out. On average, getting to 23 playable cards means you need 8 cards in each pack, and 3 packs add that up and we're good to go. The Shield Mate. I find that this card is really good for defensive speed. I don't think we're going to have the density of artifacts in order to have it turn on consistently, but we are going to take it here. And this is a 3/2. When it becomes tapped, untap another permanent. Okay. This is the Warp card with -3, -0. This is a big spaceship at the end of the game. Let's see if we can go ahead. I'm afraid on being a little aggressive with something like Shieldmate in the deck, because we're just not going to have as many artifacts as would be needed to make this really an effective attacker. So right now we're looking for lower curve and cards that can replace themselves. So this is 3 or any. X is a differently numbered lands we control. We're not going to have differently named lands, so that's not going to be something we have to worry about. We will immediately sideboard any cards that are not blue or colorless. Two mana, 2/2 flyer. It does have a station of 4, which means you have to tap untapped creatures with power in order to get that many station counters. When it has 4 station counters, it becomes a 2/2 flyer. The Surveil is really nice early on. It is an artifact, so I don't know how much of a tempo. Like, it can't be an aggressive card, right? Because you're not going to play it on turn 2 or 3 and be able to station it for enough to kind of turn it on in any kind of real quick way. So it's more of a mid-rangey card than it looks like. That's not necessarily meaning that it's a bad card, it's just more mid-range. This is a great card in black-white. We will just take it. Anything with mass pump in black-white is amazing, as there aren't really that go wide strategy, but not applicable for our draft. So if we end here, this is 9 cards. So again, driver's seat for the number of playables, but the quality of playables are going to be questionable at best. Well, we did say colorless, right? So this is Tezzeret. When it enters, put a loyalty counter on. Whenever an artifact enters, put a loyalty counter. 0, untap artifact to creature. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Or at the beginning of a combat, put 3 +1/+1s on an artifact creature you control. This is something that we are going to take and look to kind of rely on. It's a lot of power. It does lean into artifacts quite a bit, so we will be looking for an artifact card with mana 1 or less in order to kind of have a search target. We'd love to be able to get 2 of them, but we will see how lucky we get with those. So this is the second spell matters. This is a 4/4. It can cost 5 or it can cost 2. I really like this card. A flying 1/1 that can add mana to cast artifacts. Yeah, I think we are going with this 4/4. You just need these kind of cards to, like, if you're playing flyers, this 1/1 flyer is great, but you need these cards to kind of hold the ground. I'll go ahead and take that. I really miss out on this Vanishing Light, but we will see. This is the cantrip card, and this is an artifact. When it enters or leaves, you draw a card either way, and if it leaves because it's sacrificed by its own ability, you put a stun token. This is a great card as long as you have something else on the board. You can't just do this on your turn 2s, right? It will end up being a problem. Like, you need to have some defensive speed, but it is a good card. So this is a flash equipment that enters, and target creature gets hexproof, and then it's +1/+2. It is also an artifact, so I think it's worth picking here. We have a 3/1 that makes a lander token. The 3/2 defensive card. And then we have a slow artifact, but you can get it here, right? So we'll go ahead and take it. I'm hoping not to be a very aggressive deck with the artifacts, right? Because that's going to be much harder to get into. So for an artifact, or return artifact from your graveyard to your hand. Choose one or both. Yeah, I like that ability. It does mean we have to find a couple more high value artifacts. Tezzeret, while it is colorless, is not an artifact, right? So you're not going to be able to search that up. This is just a really good flying creature. Surveil for 2 on its warp cost, and then later on it becomes a 3/5. So no artifact synergies here except for a strong creature. Surveil is good to help dig and find the artifacts that you're looking for. Like I said, playables we are not going to struggle for. 1/1 flash, and then sacrifice it to draw a card later in the game, or another artifact. Yeah, I like the early flyer. We'll take another artifact creature. So let's look at our kind of artifact count, right? So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to need to know, because these shield mates are going to get to a point where they could be online. But right now we have 9, but 2 of them are the shield mates themselves. So the shield mate won't be able to activate itself, right? So you do have to kind of keep that in mind. If you are attacking aggressively for 1 to 2 turns after dropping the shield mate, and then you don't attack again for the next 4 or 5 turns, it is not in your favor. So here is a blue rare that we were kind of hoping for. When a permanent enters the battlefield, triggering the ability of a permanent you control, it triggers an additional time with a warp cost. We'll go ahead and pick this up. We have a shield mate and another 2/4 with the 2 spell ability. So we should assume we're going to get this shield mate coming back. So we have a 3/2 or another spacecraft. This is the 4 mana spacecraft that draws 2 cards, and then you discard a card. Yeah, I like all of these cards. We do have a colorless rare, 8 mana. When this enters, destroy non-target permanent. Then put 4 the space. Then the spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Okay. 6 mana. Centers return up to 2 non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. And then you can fly. You can station it. I keep wanting to say crew it. I think everybody is making the same mistakes there. Okay card, but at 6 mana, this is going to be very hard to do. We're going to stay much lower to the ground. Nice card there. 4 mana. When this enters, sacrifice an artifact. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and draw a card. That is great to see. Yep, we'll take this removal spell. Much needed. Unravel, counter spell, or Surveil X. X is the number of artifacts you control, and then draw 3 cards. I like having access to something like that. Yeah, here's another really kind of a decision point. I know where I want to be. We are good with playables here. Grabbing another 1-drop artifact would be nice to have with Tezzeret. Scour for scrap. That is going to be a choice on whether we play that. Ooh, Lost in Space is a good tempo card. We will take the Shield Mate again. So our deck is almost done here, and we are at 31 playables. Looking to get to 23, so we are in a good seat here. We did only get one drop artifact, so that is something to consider. Tezzeret would like a larger amount of artifacts. His ultimate is 7. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on an artifact. If it's not a creature, it becomes a creature. That's a 0/0. So, and that is an emblem, even if Tezzeret is no longer on the battlefield. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to try and put together a deck. First idea is, how many artifacts do we really have? So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 artifacts. So are these shield mates actually going to attack? So let's see what it would look like if we made this as low to the ground as we could to make sure that these shield mates could attack. So that would look like the jellyfish not being here. This is a really good 2-drop, but we are going to have to make cuts, so let's see what that would mean. It would mean that this jellyfish would not be here. Or would be here as a 2/4 all the time. Search for scrap. None of the artifacts are... Five mana. This is expensive. It might be something like Surveil 2, Surveil 3, and then draw 3 cards. It's huge. It's huge. Is it these 4/4s? Be one of the 4/4s. So we're locked in on these cards here. The Cryogen Relic we don't have to play, since we have or we just don't play as many shield mates, right? So let's put these in and let's see what we would be playing if we didn't have these shield mates, right? If we're not all in on the artifact, and artifact is just something that we incidentally have, right? So we wouldn't be playing this or this. This jellyfish I think is a little bit lower impact since we're drawing cards other ways. And I think we can go to 16 lands since our curve is not overly high. So this is what it's like without the artifact aggression. And it is mostly holding the ground and trying to win in the air with some flyers. Not the worst plan, for sure. We certainly don't have as much removal since we weren't in other colors, but I am happy with how this deck ended up coming out. And so let's get into gameplay and see what kind of splash we can make. Another reminder, please check out the description below for a link to our donation page and also full details on the donations that we are going to make and how you can help without donating any of your money by subscribing, watching all the way through till the end of the video, and also leaving a comment below. Yep, we're going to go ahead and keep this. Okay. We'll start with an island as if there was any other thoughts. We'll get the Cryogen Relic up so that next turn this will be a 2/4. Okay. This 2/4 should, without any removal, should shut down their attacking, although they do have ramp ability here, so they can go up to 5 mana here, so they may have something bigger in store for us. Okay. That is a 3/2 that we are certainly going to want to not have hit us. So if we play the warp, we can surveil 2 for next turn. and make a 4/4. Yeah, I think that's right. I'll make this 4/4. I'll help control the ground here. Next turn we could play the whale and get another surveil too, or we could play theoretically a warp and a creature. We do want to get the warp in there as soon as possible. This will put a stun counter on a tapped creature, so if he attacks, that's what we're going to look for. He did have to tap something to, okay, make us discard a card. We still have lands in hand, so it's not too bad yet. Okay, he put a +1/+1 counter on himself. Makes sense. Okay. Hexproof. So we're going to play... Do we have time to play the whale? He puts a +1/+1 counter on himself and attacks as a 5/5. You know, if that's all that he does, I'm not overly bothered by it. Take the land first. Let's see, he'll have 2 cards in hand. He is missing the black mana, so if he wants to play a black card, he will have to tap 2 creatures. He is looking at the 3/5, so if he has a removal spell, I would assume it would be going there. Yeah. And he attacks and hits us for 5. Okay, no, he attacks with both because they'll both have 4 power, right? Okay. Yep, that's a good turn for him. Do we hold up Hexproof? He has 1 card. So this is +1/+2, right? So that'll make that a 4/4. So we'll be able to block 1, but not the other. That's not going to do it. We block this down. For a turn. And that's it. Okay, we'll have to see what his last 2 cards now. It was 1 card a minute ago. His last cards are in hand. Okay, we are kind of locked into blocking both, right? He's going to get a lander token, which will help him go get the black mana that he's looking for. See, a permanent that's coming in, but 9 station means it's just going to be much too slow. He's going to be attacking with a 5/5, right? So we're going to have to play the creature. And now, do we want to surveil, or do we want to try and take this trick right now? It's going to be 5/5. We are going to attack with what's going to be a 2/4. Yeah, we're going to have to try and do this surprise block now. Otherwise, we're not going to get another chance to do it. So, his attack's going to be a 4/4. I mean, his attack is going to be a 5/5, and we are going to have just enough 5 power to get it off the board. When it enters, another creature you control get +1/+1 and Death Touch. So the Death Touch is going to end up getting us here. Does he put the +1? It doesn't matter. He's got Death Touch, so he's going to kill both of our creatures. It doesn't really matter. We'll just put it on this one here. But the Death Touch will mean that they both die. Yep, not enough time to get the creatures out, or let me say it a different way. Not enough time to get the spaceship cards to station to turn them into creatures. And that is part of this defensive speed thing that I've talked about in some previous videos. I'm going to try and play one more time. I'm hesitant because I'm a little afraid of this defensive speed thing, right? Maybe we do need those shield mates in to help block early, and just if they don't get to attack, they don't get to attack. Let's see what we got. Okay, a little bit land heavy, but we have a curve, so we're good to go. Okay, we will go with the power early on, but we will attack first. We could go... Could this be a counter spell? It could. Yep. Found the third. Come on. Okay. Gonna go. This was not the warp cost. This was the regular play. Okay. So play this for the warp cost. We play the 4/4. We attack for 5. He doesn't have to jump block. He can take the 5 here. He is going to be at 8. We're going to get this back. Okay, put target card from graveyard onto the bottom of the owner's library. Okay. Right now he's looking to block, and take 4. He knows this is coming next turn, right? So he knows he's not going to be able to double block. We're not going to block that, but we are going to use his ability to take something and put it back. Interesting. We're going to force a trump block. Yep. He's going to want to attack, right? Because he attacked last turn. Yeah, and that's enough for him. He was going to be dead without the Tezzeret, right? So, not anything crazy there. He certainly wanted to attack. He must have had some kind of combat trick in black, or something that finished off when the creature has been dealt damage, because it was clearly a bad attack there. So it must have been some kind of combat trick. So something to watch out for. Yeah, this is not my favorite type of hand. A 2/3, a 2/3, we're not going to gain any value for what it does. A piece of equipment that needs a creature first. Let's try and mulligan this and see if we can get a better hand. Yeah, I think this is better. Not by a ton, but I think it is significantly better. We can get an artifact onto the battlefield early, even earlier as it is. Spacecraft will let us. Okay. Pretty aggressive creature. Spacecraft is going to let us start with the Surveil and see what we can do. See, Gigastorm Titan makes a lot of sense. We'll take it first. Do we want a 4th land? No, let's put that one in a graveyard. Let's see. We do want a 4th land, a 5th land eventually, but we don't want it specifically now. Okay. Control 2 or more tapped creature, it gets a +1/+1. So we will go. We will warp this in. Okay. We will play the 4/4. We will use this to, I keep calling it crew, to station the spaceship. But we'll keep the 4/4 back on attacks. We do know that he has a 3/3 haster, and if he had 2 tapped creatures at the end of turn, he would be able to get a +1/+1 counter. So right now he's not going to be able to do that just with this. He may have a combat trick, or he may have a removal spell. I think he's lining up a removal spell right now, which is understandable. Okay. So we attack with the 4/4, and then tap this to untap that. This looks like a small removal spell, right? Looks like he's trying to target this 2/2 flyer. Plasma Bolt, okay. So he's got a 2/3 and a 2/1. We can play this and just attack with 1. Or force him to trade if that's what he wants to trade. Untap there. So we're attacking for 7. He does have chump blocks available. Okay. The Vocalist with his ability. Yeah. Okay, good turn by him. We attack for 6. He's gonna have to hold up blockers here, which makes a lot of sense. We are out of gas, and so if he knew that, he may play this a little bit differently. I assume he wants to attack to keep getting counters and keep growing his creatures. Like if he plays the... Okay, that's just going to be held up. Okay. Yeah, that's good. We do need something. Putting this back in his hand means we can attack for everything, and he goes to 1. We also surveil 1 for next turn. This would be full price next turn. I'm sorry, no, this is the 3 mana 2/4. Is that what we're looking for? Well, it's certainly better than a land. So I think we have to take it. We attack and he has to chump block. He's going to play... So he did bottom that card. Okay. Plasma Bolt. 2 Plasma Bolts. Okay. Aggressive, right? So we trade off. Okay. Plays the guy with haste. Okay. need something here. Very close to getting the win, but just a bit out of reach. We actually don't even have that much time. Reach is going to be tough. So close, but far away. Please let me know in the comments below, was there a way to push one more damage at some point that you had saw that I did not? I will go back and watch that game again and see if I can identify any place where I could have been a little bit more aggressive. One and two. Let's see what we can make with this deck. I don't think the deck is awful, although obviously it is missing a decent amount of removal that you would normally find in the second color. I think we have 2 total pieces. Yeah, these spaceships, while they are great to be on the board, their station costs are a little bit higher than I had anticipated. We'll get the dog online first, start attacking. While it can tap, gain a little bit of extra life. Put a +1/+1 counter on this as a sorcery. We'll see if he's looking to trade off. My assumption is he is not. Let me look at the station. Spacecraft going. I think we're good on lands. Do we want a 4/5? The answer, I think, is yes. Do we sacrifice that? He's going to put another +1/+1 counter, so my assumption is that's what we're going to want to do. Destroy target artifact, yep. Drill too deep. We will offer the trade again. My opponent might be thinking he's going to trade here, but we will play this Titan either way. So let's see what he's going to do. This +1/+1 ability is awesome, but it is also sorcery speed, and so if that's what my opponent is looking to do, that will be all that he does on his turn. If he had other cards in his hand, I think he would be doing other things. Yeah. He can do this at any point. We will draw 2 cards and discard 1. Vocalist and Whale. Could play the Whale for the Surveil cost. Take a look at what's coming. I think we're beyond that part of the game. Tap an artifact or creature. Probably useful. If this guy taps, then we'll untap a permanent. This guy's attacking with Vigilance. Can't attack here. Okay. Next turn, it'll be the Vocalist and the ability to tap something and draw a card. Not the Whale. This is, yeah, we're gonna have to block. Right, give up our flyer. So this is flying and trample. He is going to have the ability, this could be up to a 6/6 next turn. We will probably have to block. This is literally just cantrip, right? So we could play the Whale if we want to keep a land. Oh no, we can keep this on top. We can draw it next turn, or we can just draw it right now. And just replace it in our hand. I guess we replace it. We attack with both, and then untap the 4/4. If he goes all in on this, we just take it here. I mean, we have 10 power. He's going to have to put something on the battlefield. We can add to the battlefield and make whatever he's putting on the battlefield a chump blocker. Unless he's going to... Yeah, okay. So blocking there would have been really bad for us. Okay. We're going to attack for both. It's going to be 6 coming at him. And Cryo Shatter. We'll have to pass. We can't put it on this thing because it's not a creature yet. He's going to have to do something about flying. So he's either going to have to kill the whale. Okay. Looking to see if there was something instant speed that he could do to turn this into a creature, but attacking there for the flying, for the 3/3 flying, or the 3/5 flying when he was at 3 life. That was the play. 2-2 with the all blue deck. And we're going to jump right into game 5. Once again, in the description below, there are full details for being able to donate to TeamWater, or what our channel is going to do. We are going to donate $1 for each subscriber over the next 2 weeks that joins through this video, up to $100 and 100 subscribers. So we would love to have you as part of the community if you have made it this far. I assume you are enjoying the content. Otherwise, not really sure how this happened, but please consider subscribing. And, you know, if you don't have the resources to be able to donate right now, lots of things are happening right now in 2025. Certainly understandable, but please like, share, and subscribe. Really push the videos that are part of TeamWater. That is everybody. A lot of favorite creators are out there doing their part. Go ahead and push those forward, and that is certainly as good as donating if you are diligent about it. So we are going to go ahead and keep this. A little light on the early plays, but hopefully we have the Surveil to be able to get us something there. We don't want to play Tezzeret out without some kind of backup. Yep, and he is going to Surveil, which is probably what we are going to do, unless we draw something unexpected here. Yeah, so we have to make sure that we hit a 3rd land. Yep, we will hit the 3rd and the 4th land. My assumption is my opponent is going to play something onto the board here, otherwise why relic? I like the relic not being a major part of hitting the board. Huh. What's the chance that he doesn't kill this next turn? Right? Okay, I have to hope that he doesn't, but if not, then I can go 3-drop into Tezzeret, or Tezzeret into the 3-drop. Although now we're into the area where a counterspell might be coming, right? So we're going to lead off. See if we can catch a counterspell, if this is what's happening. No. Okay. Well, if he has one who's playing it now, he is not.
Everything you own will belong to me.
Okay. We'll attack for 2. Yep, he's going to draw another card here. I assume he's going to go for the Space Whale. We will be able to... No, he's going to 5/5. Okay. So we could just put this back in his hand, right? And make him have to do it again next turn. If we do, we could play this first. Wait a minute. No, we could play this for 4. We would have 1 mana left. We want the land.
Work harder.
Okay, that'll be it for this turn. Next turn. Okay. I don't have an artifact to sacrifice.
I am in charge here.
Okay, but I will be able to tap something down and draw a card on his turn. So he's going to make a 2/2 and a 5/5. No, he's going to put something big. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to play this on his turn because this has Ward 2. But I am going to be able to play it here. Okay. No, I want the whale. Attack for...
My control is absolute.
Surveil. Okay. So we could make one of his creatures a blank. He's going to play a 5/5, right? He's kind of forced into playing the whale. Okay, we don't have enough to play this and do it. But right now he has to play something else.
My revenge will cut from the shadows.
Okay. But he goes to 1 here. Okay. Depending on what he had in his hand, he should let us play that out. He could easily draw a land next. He could go to 1, draw a land next turn, make another 2/2, and then play 2 creatures. Because he has so many lands. I would have, if I were him, I would let us play that out. But opponent knew what was in his hand, and there just might not have been anything that he could have done. 3 wins, pretty happy so far with the deck. I don't expect this deck to get up to 7 wins, but even if we do end up 3-3, I think that was a success for this pure water deck. We have a nice curve. If we could get a couple more lands here, we need the lands to be flowing. This is a good way of doing it. We'll start with Surveil 2. Unfortunate that I have to dump these cards, but I do have to dump them. We need to be getting to our next land drops. We do have the Whale to surveil another 2, but I want to make sure I'm on the board. 2/3 flying. When it dies, create a 2/2. So I think we want this 3/2 first. Since I'm not going to be blocking, I will station. And do I just want a cantrip here? I probably do. Okay, next turn. Okay. He is coming out pretty aggressive. I'll make this a 2/2 flyer. Or just get this 3/4 out on the battlefield. I don't want to make it 4/3 because we know that he has destroy target artifact cards. Yeah, let's get this out. Let's kind of force him to play it. Right? We know it's in his hand. We're going to have to hold back playing our bigger artifacts until he does. Okay. Yep. This is an attack for 5. Big attack for sure, but we play the Whale now. Surveil 2. Set us up for the next couple of turns. So what do we want to do here? So next turn we're going to go... Yeah. Next turn we're going to go here. Right? Now turn after. So next turn we'll have 6 mana. The turn after we'll have 7. Right? Okay. He is in black and red, so the idea that he would have removal for a 3/5 is not crazy. Yep. Depressurize is the perfect removal for something that size. Yep. And that is for 5. This 3/4 should block something. We're not going to sacrifice anything. We don't have enough to sacrifice. Yep. Oh, only discard 1 card, right? Discard this. Yeah, I think he got us here. He just attacks with everyone. do a double block here because we're just going to have to. Yep. Okay, well, that was 3 and 3 with only blue. A kind of goofy, kind of silly draft idea to really highlight TeamWater, a really good campaign to drive pure drinking water to millions of people around the globe. If you do have the funds to donate, that would be amazing. If you don't, as I've said before, please subscribe to this channel, leave a comment. I hope you've watched all the way to the end, but you can definitely share to other like-minded people that are interested in Magic that would like to watch this to drive those watch time goals that we have in the description below, so that we will make a even larger donation to TeamWater on behalf of the channel and the community that we're trying to build around the channel. If you like what you've seen here, please check out some of my other videos. I have full playlists for drafts, for jump in, and also for starter deck constructed, and I will see you next time on the channel. Bye everybody.